Hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mels Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now in this video we're going to be going through a load of ASCII Ridge trophies that I have gotten recently, starting off with this level 3 Dusky Grouse. Now this guy actually does end up making diamond at 153.09 and he is actually the molting plumage type, and I don't think so far that I've actually had a molting plumage type diamond for these, so that was quite interesting to get. I kind of wish these guys had a multi-mount, because, you know, it'd be nice to have, like, either the different common diamonds or, you know, maybe even some rares together in a multi-mount. And honestly, whenever I hear Dusky Grouse calls, I'm always looking to see if it's a rare. So that's always what I've got my fingers crossed for, but a diamond is always nice. Now, speaking of diamonds, we have quite a big level 5 Manitoban Elk here, and he is just absolutely massive looking. Now, this guy ended up spooking off from his drink zone, so I ended up tracking him down, and you can see one of the other members of the herd got too close, actually ended up running me over, and then that made this guy spin around, so I got up, made him go alert, and then managed to drop him there with the 300 AR. Now, taking a look at this guy's rack, I was pretty confident this wasn't one I'd seen before. It looked really different, and he actually is a diamond, scoring just over 470, so a really good size diamond Manitoban Elk, and I just really like this guy's frame and his tines. I just think that's a really nice looking bull elk. Just those extra tines on the back and that mass carrying all the way through, I think is really awesome. Now, sticking with Manitoban Elk trophies, and you may remember that recently we ended up with a Piebald Bull Manitoban Elk, and I had mentioned how much I actually wanted to get a Piebald female as well, because they look really cool. Well, I actually got very lucky and ended up managing to harvest not one, but two of these. This was the first one, and again, from everything I had seen in the pictures, I knew they were beautiful. But when I spotted this female actually out on the ice, I mean, she blended in, like being that bright white coloration with the snow. And you can see all of the little black spots, almost like a Dalmatian. They're just stunning. And here's the second one I ended up finding. And the whole time when I found these, I was thinking how awesome it would be if the Manitoban Elk had a mount like the Flea State mount for red deer, because I would love to have that Piebald bull in a mount with one of these Piebald cows, or even like a bull and two cows for like the extra large or like massive platforms. I think would be so awesome, because they're just so pretty. And that's something I've noticed with a lot of the new species that have been coming out on new maps, is that female rares are honestly becoming just as beautiful as male rares for a lot of species. And that just makes me want more multi-mounts, more options to, like, actually display the females. Because, okay, maybe a single female elk on like a big platform doesn't look as impressive as a male. So if there's like mounts that can include both or multiple females, I think that would be really nice. So that's something I hope the EW does in the future. But moving on from elk and over to the biggest animal here on the ski ridge, and in fact the biggest animal weight-wise in the game, we have the wood bison. Now, I actually ended up getting a diamond wood bison during the early access for a ski ridge, but unfortunately it was a level 4 that ran past me, I wasn't recording, and I didn't get any footage of it. So since then, I have been trying super hard to find a diamond wood bison that I could actually get footage of to have in a video for you guys here on the channel. And when I saw this guy, I knew this guy had to be the one that was finally gonna make it. Those horns are massive. And he does make it at 160.52. Honestly, I have had so many bison trolls. I think I've had 3 or 4 level 5 troll wood bison, and no level 4s that have made it, even with really good estimates. And when I saw this guy, all I saw was those giant horns, and they just looked so much bigger than anything else I'd ever seen for these guys. Like, they really stood out, and I was like, okay, this is it. This has to be it. Finally, this guy has to be a level 5 that's going to make it. Like, I don't know anyone else that's had as bad luck with trolls for these guys as me. Like, they seem to be, for a lot of people, quite common diamonds. Not me. Like, I have struggled so hard trying to get trophies for these guys. And I think it was literally within 24 hours, I ended up finding this guy. Another level 5 with a huge estimate. And again, I was pretty confident this guy was going to actually make it. But he has some wicked shaping on his horns. He ends up being a 162.08 score, so bigger than our previous one, so already an upgrade. But it's the shape of his horns that I can't get over. The previous one had like very sort of simple curved sort of round horns. This guy, his horns sort of curve up and back. And to me, that just looks epic. Like, that is a really cool looking bison. Like, they have the mass, they have that size, but it's the way they like kick in and back that looks so, so cool to me. Like, there's real hooks to those horns. That shape is amazing, and they're so glossy and shiny. That is just an amazing wood bison bull, in my opinion. But from a couple of diamond wood bison and onto a couple of rares. Again, something else I have been trying so hard to get here on a ski ridge is rare wood bison. And finally, I found something a little bit different. Here we have a piebald female. Now, yes, it is a female, but it made for such a cool clip, with her going aggressive there, running straight towards us and then dropping. That was awesome, and this was the first time I'd ever seen a piebald wood bison. They look really interesting. A lot of different tones of sort of like white to cream to the dark brown there in those patches. Really, really interesting looking piebald variant. Now, obviously, I would love to get a piebald male, and I am hoping for rare males. But in multiplayer, finding a rare for these guys at all, like I've said, has been difficult. I'd only had a couple of, previous rares, a couple of melanistics. So I was really, really happy to see something different. A really cool looking piebald. Hopefully, eventually we can get a piebald bull for the trophy lodge. But I was stoked with this. And that encounter, like I said, of her running straight towards us like that and calling because she was aggressive was just really, really cool. I really do like the wood bison. By far my favourite bison species in the game. They just look fantastic. I hope that the European bison and the plains bison get a little bit of love to end up looking as good as these guys, because they're on a whole nother level as far as I'm concerned in terms of how they look. And then, some of you may know that I have been spending a lot of time on my own ASCII map, and I've been shooting a lot of bison and mule deer, etc, etc, which is how we got the last 2 Great One mule deer. And from all of that, I ended up finding a piebald female on my own map, so that was pretty cool. But from a couple of rare female wood bison onto a absolute giant rare male. Now, when I saw this guy, I was pretty confident I knew what I was looking at straight away. But unfortunately, I actually got knocked out by the rest of the herd and had to come back to this lake, follow the tracks, and get him down. And sure enough, he is exactly what I thought he is. He is a dark brown fur type and a max weight estimate. So he's going to be a big gold rare wood bison. Because yes, dark brown is a rare for these guys. And as you can see, they are very similar in appearance to a melanistic. Now, we did have a female dark brown in a previous video, but it was actually snowing when I shot her, and I couldn't really show you guys, like, the identifying features very well. But here, we can take a much better look on just an incredible, huge size trophy male. Now, one thing that's really noticeable is sort of the even coverage of colour throughout the coat. Obviously, the coloration is darker as well. I would say if you see a bison and it looks melanistic, but there's just a hint of brown that you can maybe see, and it's only going to be in some lighting that you're going to see that brown because it's very subtle, I would shoot it because that is most likely a dark brown, and they are a pretty interesting rare. But from one big rare to another rare that is going to be a gold, and one that I was so excited when I actually found this guy. I mean, a level 4 Piebald Caribou. Look at this guy. I didn't know that the Piebald for this specific subspecies of caribou here on a ski was really different to the other caribou over on Yukon. This Piebald is completely different, and it is so much prettier, in my opinion. The woodland caribou Piebald is so much better than the Grand Caribou Piebald, in my opinion. Look at that. He is gorgeous. This is one of my favourite rares I've taken recently. I love it. All that white on the neck and like in the mane, in the fluff, and the white going down like the middle of the face onto the nose is just, that is top tier. That is a top tier rare. I mean, wow. Like, I'm so lucky with this guy that he wasn't like one of the ones that have like really spindly antlers. Like, that's actually a decent set of antlers on this guy. That's one of the things that I really still dislike about caribou and reindeer in this game is the antlers. Most of them are really not great looking, but this guy actually looks decent. So I couldn't be more thrilled with this particular rare. Like, that is absolutely beautiful. I am so stoked about this. What a gorgeous, gorgeous bull. And when I saw him trotting away, I managed to get his feed zone and then reset the time when I got host in this multiplayer session, and then managed to sneak up that close to him. It was just such a cool experience. Look at all the detail in the face. That's what I really love about this. That is just stunning. The way that that blends, and the contrast as well, like between the darker brown colour and the white, is just really well done. That is stunning. Absolutely stunning. But to finish this video off, we are going to be taking a look at a couple of bird rares. Now, I have had so far every rare for Snow Goose except the blue morph. And so I had been hunting snow geese, trying to get one of these guys to complete my little snow goose collection, and finally I ended up finding this. A blue morph snow goose. And I was so thrilled. This completes my collection of snow geese. I have a diamond, and I have every single rare. Those being the albino, the melanistic, the intermediate morph, the blue morph, and the hybrid. That is a full collection now for the lodge. It was the only reason I was still hunting snow geese, was to try and get this specific rare. Funnily enough, it seems like this is one of the rares that shows up a bit more often for snow geese. But of course, for me, it was the last one I needed, which always seems to be the way it goes. But they're such a cool looking rare variety. Like, the contrast, again, between the white and the like dark colour brown, and the way you have sort of the darker brown feathers on the neck, and then almost like a chocolate brown on the like chest feathers. It's a really pretty rare. The snow geese are very, very well done in general. And honestly, I think the blue morph does look really, really good. It's not my favourite of all the rares. Like, I really like the albinos and the hybrids more. But you know me, I'm a rare bird collector, and I do love all of the rares in general. So I just wanted to find this particular rare to complete my collection of them. So I was super, super stoked seeing this particular bird. But this was not going to be all that I would find on this particular server. So you can see there, we exit out of the harvest screen and we actually have more snow geese actively coming in. And I thought, oh, I better just quickly take a look around. I was just checking this one here wasn't albino because I couldn't see the black on the wings. And so I was just basically making sure I wasn't missing anything. And then I look up, boom. That is very clearly a melanistic. So I dropped to the ground and tried to get into a position where I wouldn't spook them. But unfortunately, as the flock was coming in, they did end up spooking. But I actually did manage to get the melanistic out of the air there with the 22. Which, that was just so cool. Literally exit the harvest screen from taking a look at one rare to literally then looking up in the sky and seeing another rare coming in. And the melanistic snow geese seem to be a lot rarer in general. So I was just completely shocked by this. And I can tell you something, this isn't this isn't the last trophy goose that I got from this server. I was in this server for a good while, I'd say a few hours. It was one of the servers where I had good connection and it was fairly unhunted. The snow geese there was no setups for, which is why I decided to hunt snow geese. And I found nothing else on the rest of this server, but I found 3 trophy snow geese, with 2 of them being back to back like that. And here is the 3rd one. Another melanistic snow goose. All from the exact same setup on what people have dubbed Snow Goose Mountain. Literally all in this same exact spot. I could not believe it. I genuinely, after the second one, I was like, okay, I'll just make sure this server, is 100% legit. After this one, I was like, we're definitely checking at this point because 3 rares in one spot. But yeah, I found nothing else in the entire server. No one else harvested any diamonds. I didn't see any diamonds, I didn't see any rares, apart from these 3 snow geese. It was like the trio of rares that existed on this map were all on Snow Goose Mountain. Absolutely insane. Sometimes it happens like that. It's not the first time where, I've been in a multiplayer server and you find all of the good stuff in just one spot and the rest of the map is just, empty in terms of trophies. And yeah, this was one of those incidents and it was pretty awesome. But that is going to be it for this video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. Some really cool trophies in this one that I'm really stoked about, especially the blue morph goose, completing that collection, and the Piebald Caribou. Just absolutely stunning. But like I said, that is going to be it for this one. So thank you so much for watching and for all your support as always. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.